Hi, I'm Matthew Cavalier and welcome back to my channel, Moments with Matthew. Today we're going to talk a little bit about healing, the healing process, and how we actually put in the work to heal. But before we get started, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notifications every time a new video comes out. And please hit that like button. It really does help my channel, and I'm so grateful for all of you that you continue on this journey with me. So I want to talk a little bit about healing today, and it really is right now in our conversations, and it's in our media right now, this talk of needing to heal. Healing the nation, healing our discord, healing our relationships with family, healing ourselves personally. We hear it in all kinds of different stories, not only in the political realm, but also in a lot of self-growth. And that is an important aspect to self-growth, is the healing process. But I think a lot of us have a misunderstanding about what healing really is, or about what healing really takes, if we want to be a little bit more accurate. Healing is extremely important, but it is something that you have to put a lot of work into. It's not just something that you wake up and say, I'm going to heal myself today. When we think about the healing process itself, we cut our body and it fixes itself over time. But you know that your body is hard at work doing what it needs to do to fix a cut, a bruise, something that has damaged it in some way. We are no different when we need to heal emotionally. There is work that has to go into the healing process. My personal opinion and my personal feeling from what I've read and what I've studied is healing starts with the foundation of forgiveness. You have to be willing to forgive what has happened to you, not only the other person, but yourself as well. And I know a lot of you are saying, wait a minute, forgiveness means I'm letting them get away with it. No, it doesn't. Forgiveness is for you. It is not for them. You don't necessarily have to say, by saying, I forgive what has happened, that doesn't mean you're saying, I'm forgetting what has happened. I am saying that it's okay what has happened. But what you are saying is, I am letting go of this. I am forgiving so that I can move forward. That other person doesn't even have to know that forgiveness has been granted. Let me say that again. That other person does not have to know that forgiveness has been granted. But until you forgive, you cannot open the path to heal. And while we're at it, start with forgiving yourself. We can't heal our own personal emotional traumas until we forgive ourselves, until we say, I forgive you. I forgive you for allowing this to happen. I forgive you for feeling weak at the time. That doesn't mean that because something happened to you, you were asking for it. It just means this happened to you and you couldn't stop it, and you need to forgive yourself, no matter what the emotional turmoil is. I had a long time of forgiving myself for my own inner thoughts of hatred towards myself. Growing up, I had a lot of experiences of being on the outside of different groups, different cliques in school. I was always considered a little bit different. I was flamboyant. I talked with my hands. My voice is higher pitched. And of course, that makes kids in the 1980s in a small town say, gay, fag. And I took it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know a lot of the times what that meant. But I allowed it to happen to myself. I allowed it to happen to me when I was a senior in high school and someone tried to throw me off the second floor of the school because they didn't like that I was a fag. Over and over again calling me that as they tried to push me over the second floor. Is that a terrible moment in my life? Absolutely. Do I have to forgive that and let go to move forward? Yes. And that took a lot of work, a lot of therapy sessions. My first job as an educator, If I wasn't in a meeting, my assistant principal was asking, where's the little faggot today? Why isn't he in this meeting with us? Did I have to move past that? Yes. Did I have to open that wound to heal it? Yes. That is not an easy job. That is a difficult thing to do. But I had to forgive myself for the self-hatred, and I had to forgive those that inflicted the harm on me because I couldn't move forward with my own healing. I couldn't move forward with my own self-acceptance. Healing takes work. Healing takes sometimes opening that wound back up again, reflecting on it, forgiving yourself and saying, this was not about you, and you have to move forward from it. Did that take a lot of tears? Did that take a lot of time? Did that take a lot of anger? Absolutely. Do I still look at it sometimes and get upset? I sure do. But do I let that stop me? Absolutely not. If I thought about those times in my life, those would keep me back. I wouldn't be doing this channel right now because I'd be wondering, is someone wondering if I'm gay, if I'm this, if I'm that, if I'm too outgoing, if I'm too flamboyant, if I'm too out there? Do I have to say, I can't think about that. I have to move forward and do what I want to do and do what brings me fulfillment. Absolutely. Could I have done any of that without a strong healing process? Absolutely not. Were those painful times in my life that I wanted to relive? Are you kidding me? No. No one wants to relive the pain. No one wants to relive the hurt. No one wants to inflict those things on themselves again. But I was finding myself getting angry, and I was finding myself getting depressed, and I was finding myself lashing out at people that I shouldn't have been lashing out at because I hadn't done the work to heal. I remember a time driving along just on a regular road around my house, and I became so angry for no reason. I had to pull the car over, stop, catch my breath, and have the passenger drive the rest of the way. That was the point I knew that the healing work had to start. That was the time I said to myself, you can't keep living like this. I had to start the healing process. And the first step was understanding how to forgive and the work that needed to go in to the healing process. Forgiveness is only the foundation. You have to take a hard look at the pain that was inflicted. You have to reflect on it, and you have to reckon with it. You have to hold yourself accountable and others accountable for the pain that they caused. We're hearing a lot right now that there can be no unity, that there can be no healing without accountability. And that is absolutely correct. And a lot of the time that accountability comes from within. The pain that we are hurting ourselves with, we have to hold ourselves accountable for stopping that pain, for allowing ourselves to dwell in it. We have to hold ourselves accountable and say, I'm not going to do this anymore. I am not going to sit in this pain and wallow any longer. I just can't do it. It is eating me up inside. And that's the point I had to get to. That was my rock bottom of emotional depression and pain and anger that I had to hit on the side of the road where I felt I was putting myself and others in jeopardy, where I said to myself, you can't do this anymore. This pain is too deep and you need help. Healing is not a road that you have to walk alone, but a lot of the work is done by you. You can get help. Therapy is a great help. Self-help books are great help. You have to do the work. Meditation is another great help. I know, I know, I'm a broken record about meditation and journaling because that's another great help as well. But those are what got me through my struggles. Those are what get me through the struggles when the pain becomes overwhelming again. Healing doesn't mean it goes away. Healing means you know now that you have the tools to deal with those emotions when they bubble up inside of you. Healing is necessary for you to move forward. You cannot step forward into the life that you want, into the dreams that you want, into the happiness, the joy, the positivity that you want until you start the healing process. And just like that ladder of joy that we talked about a month ago, it's the same thing with the healing process. It is a ladder of slow moving healing of your life. And the first step on that ladder is forgiveness, is letting go, and is saying to yourself, I deserve better than what I am giving myself now. I know this was a heavy one. It was a little emotional for me. I still sometimes tell these stories and have a hard time not getting choked up. So I appreciate you coming on this journey with me. But I want you to understand that what I want for you is nothing more than love and positivity and happiness so that you can live your life free of the shackles of the pain that you are feeling. I want you to heal. Step in the right direction. Find yourself a good therapist, and let me tell you from personal experience, you may have to shop around. My first therapist thought I was cured after visit 1 because I felt better. Those aren't the people you want as your therapist. You want the therapist that's willing to hold your hand and say, let's go on this journey together because this is going to be painful. And it was. But it really opened my heart. It opened my mind, and it opened my path to be who I am today and to continue growing and loving and nurturing myself. And I want that for you. I absolutely want that for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I know it was a heavy one, but I really do appreciate you coming along on this journey with me. And I really do appreciate your support here. Please go ahead and click that subscribe button and that little bell so that you know when the next, hopefully maybe not as heavy, Moment with Matthew comes along. And please click that like button. It really does help. And share on your social medias. And click below to continue our conversation on social media as well. I'm looking forward to our next conversation and our next journey on the next Moment with Matthew.